What you saw there was 1 year ago. Remember what you saw, and now remember this. This is the new Jane, 1 year on.
And she's smiling.
I'm smiling.
You're smiling, not crying.
Absolutely.
It's quite emotional for you watching that.
Yeah, I don't like to look at how bad it looked. It was hard.
And it was really affecting your life, your confidence.
I wasn't going out unless I was with my husband or I was going to the places that I knew. The places that I went to often were fantastic. Like the ladies in the local supermarket didn't stare at me. But if I went somewhere new, I'd have my eyes down, because if I had my eyes up looking at people, they'd be staring at me.
See, people I think are now staring at you
Yeah.
and they're thinking, what are we watching? What's this woman talking about? Because they're not going to see any difference here. It's the fact that you got a new nose. Could you actually choose the nose that you got?
Yeah, the lady that made my nose, Kelly Morris at Birmingham QE, she said, what sort of nose do you want? And I actually looked at her nose and I said, your nose is lovely, Kelly. And she said, well, I'll make you my nose. So it's actually a mould of her nose.
So, let's make this clear. So this is not a reconstruction. This is a prosthetic nose.
This is actually
wow.
just a nose that I take on
Oh, that's on
and off.
Is that
It's on
screw?
magnets.
It's magnets. Literally on and off like that.
And you're not worried about that coming off?
I have sneezed it off once.
Yes.
So I do tend to hold my knees now, hold my nose now when I sneeze.
And your knees probably as well.
Can you wear it all the time?
I take it off at night because they recommend you don't sleep in it in case you knock it.
Yeah.
And I put a plaster across my nose because I'd hate any spiders and stuff to climb down there. And in the morning,
You have like
need
a phobia of something.
Oh, no, not a phobia. I think it'd be odd. And in the morning, I brush my teeth and I rinse my nose.
And how does it
as
feel?
regards infections and things like that?
Yeah, because my nose still produces mucus and stuff like yours does. And because I can't blow it out, I have to be able to remove it, so I rinse it.
And can you smell?
I can smell, which is incredible. I've not been able to smell for 5 years, so I can smell and therefore I can taste. I can taste food again.
Well, when we met this morning coming up in the lift, I said to you, what are you here for? What
You
are you
did.
here for? Because that's not what I was expecting. And, you know, what an amazing programme this time next year.
It's been amazing.
The fact they came to you, and I want to talk about how we found out about this awful problem. And you have your late dog, your lovely dog, Cece.
That's right.
To thank for all of this. Tell people what happened.
Basically, what happened, sort of April, March time in 2012, my really big 14-stone dog jumped up and knocked my nose, gave me the most horrific nosebleed, and from then on, my nose was weird. It swelled, it bled a lot, I had a lot of pain. So I went to my GP, he didn't know what it was. So he sent me to see an ENT at the local hospital. He put a camera up there. He hadn't got a clue what it was, so he sent me to another hospital in Worcester. They didn't know what it was. And then, as a last resort, they sent me to see David Roberts at Guy's and St Thomas's. And I said, as I walked in, my dog's hit my nose, and it's been strange. And he said, it's nothing to do with your dog. You've got an autoimmune disease. Has anybody tested your blood? And I said, no, not at all. So he tested my blood and they discovered that I'd got a type of vasculitis. I've got Wegener's granulosis matosis, which mainly affects your ENT and your upper airways and your lungs. There are 18 different types of vasculitis. Mine has just particularly attacked this area quite aggressively. I'm wearing hearing aids now because I'm struggling with my hearing, but that's what they discovered it was.
And that was literally making your nose disintegrate.
Yeah, it was basically necrotising. It was eating away. So my septum crumbled and went, and my nose started to fall into my face. So over the period of a couple of years, it went from being swollen and odd to completely flat. And as you saw in the clip on This Time Next Year, gone.
Look, it's a lovely story. Your husband, Martin, who I also met. Martin and I had a very...
There's Martin.
Martin and I formed an instant bond. We're keen gardeners, both of us. Keen gardeners, right? And we particularly appreciated yesterday's slot on the programme. Just together, And so we were talking about gardening on the way up. What about Martin's reaction to all of this? I mean, I mean, you
I
don't
couldn't-
look the same, really, do you? Is it?
I don't look like I did, but throughout the whole process, when I was undergoing chemo, he learnt to cook. He looked after me incredibly well. When I was literally had no energy, so I couldn't even shower and get ready, he'd be like running the house, taking our children to wherever they needed to go, and making me laugh as well, lifting my spirits. And
So you'll be sticking with them.
I think so, yeah.
Good.
I think so.
Jane, it's amazing. This time next year, it
Yeah.
is on ITV tonight. It is on 8 o'clock tonight with Davina, and an amazing story.
We're
one
so
of the
pleased
amazing
for you.
Thank you.
You look so happy now.
Thank you for inviting me on, because when you're chronically ill and you're at home for a long time,
Yes.
this morning...
And all you've got is this
All
to
you've got
watch.
is us.
Makes you worse.
No, it is. It really is,
Yeah.
a friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.